And we're back with another edition of the LB No Filler Podcast. I'm your host, Pascal Paul, Director of Scouting for Prep Baseball Nebraska, joined by the head coach of the Grand Island Islanders, Coach Kirby Wells. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
And we're happy to have you. It's you're out in the central part of the state, so it's nice to bring you back into the metro and get everything going that's happening out there.
Absolutely. No, it's really looking forward to the season here, and guys have been working hard this off season, so really excited for a great group of kids.
Well, I'll be honest, I'm glad we got some nice weather because I had some conversations earlier, a couple weeks ago, and I said, man, we weren't having no snow, and then all of a sudden we got a couple days of snow and -30. So it's nice to see the 60s, 55s heading into the spring.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get to go outside for tryouts, which is always great. Really hard to get an evaluation indoors. Anytime you can get outside in early March is always a good sign.
Tryouts are right around the corner, Coach. State qualifier last year. Strong summer to follow that. Got a lot of experience coming back. What has the offseason been like, and how have you seen some new leadership taking place in your program?
Yeah, just this offseason's been great. I can't thank my assistant coaches enough for all the hard work they put in, especially Coach Kresnick and Coach Randall. They've been incredible, along with Coach Anderson, Coach Clancy, and Coach Brown. They do an incredible job, and our senior leadership has really taken off. Gage Gannon's had an incredible offseason. He's going to be a 3-year starter for us at catcher, but really turned his focus to pitching this year, and he's going to be a huge part of our pitching staff, and so he is a cloud commit that just committed this fall, and he's really had a great offseason and kind of been the leader of the group with a couple other of the seniors, Sam Dinkelman, Broxton Barrientos, and Ethan Kostler playing basketball. They're all obviously not able to come to a whole bunch of off-season stuff all the time. So another one, Trent Verplank, who is a Bethany commit, also has had a great off-season, and two seniors that have just not only have improved a bunch, but just led by example for everybody.
It's a lot of experience coming back. We have, I think, 9 guys ranked in your upper class. How excited are you about that? Having, obviously in the high school level, you don't get to recruit and have guys the way you want them. So how excited are you about having that experience in your upper class, and what does that mean for your program heading into the season?
Yeah, anytime you have guys with experience and coming back, that's always a plus. We've had been fortunate in the last couple of years. We've had really good young talented players, and now they're juniors and seniors, and so a lot of guys coming back with experience and that have played a lot of baseball in our program and have competed at the highest level that we can. And so like I said before, really excited about the season, really excited to get going and to be around these group of kids every day. And like I said, they're not only great, talented baseball players, but they're great kids to be around, and that makes my job extremely easy.
One thing you do have to deal with is graduation. I lost a couple arms. I heard you mention Gage Gannon is kind of taking on a new role on the mound. How else are you going to, fill those roles, especially of Cohen Nelson, who was an absolute workhorse for your guys and kind of, put the backpack on at times for you guys last year?
Yeah, absolutely. He had a great career for us, threw a ton of innings, and was the anchor of our pitching staff there, for 2 straight years. And so, but we're just going to have to piece things together. And so we've got a little injury bug right now that we got to get everybody healthy. And with that being said, some juniors are going to have to really step up that don't have a ton of experience. So we're going to have to look for some guys to get some innings early and really establish themselves in our pitching staff. And so Coach Kresnick is our pitching coach. He's done a great job of handling that and can kind of gear my focus to other things. And so, like I said before, he's done a great job of getting arms ready, and it's going to be all hands on deck for these first couple weeks.
I know you have some athletes in there, especially guys like Sam Dinkelman, who you mentioned playing basketball. It's a lot easy to ask those guys to do different stuff if they are, quote unquote athletic in different sports. It seems like those kids easily transition to, hey, jump on the mound. All right, I can be 85 and throw some strikes with a little slider. Those kind of transitions make it a little bit easier when they are playing multiple sports and are athletic.
Yeah, absolutely. The guys like Sam, guys like Broxton, and Ethan Kostler are all guys that are super athletic that, like you said, they can get on the mound and it comes pretty natural to them. And so that's that's great. And Grayson Sack is a junior who was in the rotation last year as a sophomore, and he's going to be a top arm in our starting rotation, as well as Gabe Ruiz is also a junior, who was more of a bullpen / closer guy a year ago, and we're going to look at him to probably be a starter this year and start more games. So, like I say, you can never have enough pitching, and over the last couple of years, we've had a deep pitching staff, and some guys are going to be thrown into some roles and going to be expected to go out there and compete at a high level.
There's nothing wrong with that. Especially, I'll being out there in central Nebraska, you mentioned Gage is a Cloud County commit. Who in your program right now is kind of being under recruited? Obviously everyone likes to think that all recruiting is created equal, but we all know location sometimes dictates some of that. Who can we help, shine a little light on that's had a good off season and you feel is, kind of getting the short end of the stick a little bit right now?
Yeah, no, have 3 juniors in the junior class right now that were starters last year, sophomores that are going to play at a high level, and actually 4 juniors, Gavin Hobble, Ian Aarons, Grayson Sack, and Gabe Ruiz, all 4 guys that have had varsity experience and played for our summer team a year ago that, like you said, we went 39-12, and those guys played a huge part in our success. And so those juniors are going to play college baseball, I feel, someday, and have all the intangibles to do so. And so they've had a great off season. All 4 of them have worked extremely hard, and they're going to be a big part of our success this spring. Out of a senior class, Ethan Kostler, he's a pitcher, third baseman, who also a basketball player, multi-sport athlete, but I feel he can pitch at the college level and ultra competitor, and he'll be successful in anything that he does. And then lastly, a sophomore, Sam Schroeder, who is a big physical kid, has had a great off season, and extremely talented. And he's worked extremely hard, not only at catching and hitting, but also we've got him on the mound, and he's looked really good on the mound for just kind of picking up and trying it since November.
Coach, a couple of those guys that I've seen quite a bit, Ian Aarons, who's ultra athletic, maybe a little bit undersized. What do you think people are missing with him? Is it his size, or because he's always been productive for you guys and he's come to our events and been, really athletic on the high end metric side? He is a little bit smaller, but everything else, he checks a lot of those boxes.
Yeah, and he's grown a little bit this off season. So he's about 2 inches taller than what he was a year ago, and he's packed on about 15 pounds of good weight. So he looks really good, and he's a talented outfielder that can swing it really well. And last year, that as a sophomore, that we had to have him in the lineup every single day. And so very, very natural in the outfield, and another one that will also be called on to log some innings from, being a left-handed pitcher. And so very proud of the way he's competed this offseason. And like I said, he's very talented, and we're going to look at him to be a bat at the top of the order, in the middle of the order, to drive in a whole bunch of runs.
Yeah, he's always liked him in game and in an event. One of the guys you mentioned that I haven't seen in an event as much, but he's always been ultra productive in games ever since I've started looking at box scores, is Gabe Ruiz. Speaks a little bit about him and what he brings to the game, the actual game itself.
Yeah, Gabe's incredible kid, incredible player, and the best teammate. He's definitely going to be a leader of our team, and even just as a junior. But big physical kid. He's up to 86, 87 on the mound this offseason, which was great to see, and battled some injuries last summer, and played through it. And so, like I said, didn't complain one time about being hurt, and came to work every day and was ready to go. But another kid in the lineup that is going to be right there of our cleanup, or 4 and 5 hole hitter that last summer just drove in a sack load of runs. And so he's an athletic first baseman, and he's going to definitely help us this spring and in summer, and then also when his high school playing days are over, his best baseball will be ahead of him playing at the college level.
He's one guy last spring and summer. Every time, didn't necessarily know who exactly he was, but every time I'm checking the box scores and his name always shows up, 3 for 4, 2 for 3, a double. I'm like, man, who is this guy? So he's definitely someone that caught my attention last year, just with the production of, everyday consistency, especially as a sophomore. You see the SO next to his name, and he's one of your leading hitters. And I know that Grand Island's one of the top teams in the state, so I definitely got to find out who that kid is.
Yeah, no, he had an incredible spring last year, and hit well over 300 in the spring, and was, like I say, a bat in the middle of our order. And then, that transpired right over into the summer that he won that job at first base, and just kind of really took off with it. And he was playing a new position. He was a third baseman his freshman year, and made the transition very easily over to first base, which that's not always easy to do. And he learned it in about a 2-week span, and really solidified himself over there, and had an incredible year as a sophomore.
Everyone thinks first base is easy. It's different footwork around the bag. Yeah. You're able to pick it and throw to second base with the runner running. There's some different stuff that you got to do over there. It's not just, eat a cheeseburger and, catch it. So.
No, yeah, the relays, bunt coverages, all the things that go into it, you definitely got to be paying attention.
Coach, obviously you got a lot of talent. Sophomores, obviously, juniors looking to make a step up as seniors, sophomores looking to make up a step as juniors. A lot of that talent more consolidated, I would think, in the lineup. But what are the goals this year for this team in 2025? And what is this Islander team going to have to hang their hat on just to really achieve those goals?
Yeah, in years past, we've looked at our pitching staff and our defense to kind of carry us. Cohen Nelson last year and Dylan Heinrichs were 2 arms that logged close to 40 innings in the spring. And so those are 2 arms that are going to be hard to replace. And, but like I said, we look in the years past, look to our pitching and defense to carry us. And then I think that tables are going to turn a little bit. We're going to look to our offense to carry us a little bit this year with all the experience that we have coming back. We have 10 guys on our varsity team that have varsity experience. And so whenever you have that much experience coming back, the game slows down for everybody a little bit, and we're going to do some things different offensively that we have in the past to put pressure on defenses to score runs. And so, I think offensively we're gonna be able to score runs, and which we may have to with our pitching staff not being as deep as it has been in years past. And so, but we're still going to go out and compete. We're going to compete at a high level every single day. We're a huge pay attention to details and the little things. And if we do all those things correct and come ready to compete every single day, we're going to get better. And, ultimately, what we want is compete for conference championship, district championships, and state championships. And over the last couple of years in the spring and summer, we've been fortunate enough to do that. And so, like I said, I got a tremendous staff. They work extremely hard, and an incredible group of kids to be around. So every day I come to work and go to baseball practice, it's a fun feeling, and I look forward to it every single day, and don't dread it for a second. And that's a tribute to the kids that I coach. And so they're excited. They've been working extremely hard, and here in a couple of days, it's going to be underway, and I think we're ready.
That's good to hear, Coach. Your program's been one of the more consistent programs, I think, in the state in terms of longevity, winning games, going to state tournaments. I'm excited for the spring. I've been preaching it to everyone that I've talked to. I think the spring is wide open this year, versus maybe a couple years in the past where everyone thought there was maybe 1 or 2 teams at the top. I don't know if there's a top team this year. Unfortunately, I'm going to be the one that has to crown the top team preseason. I really think it's 7 or 8 deep. Maybe 10 deep with teams that legit have a chance to win the state championship. Yeah,
you're exactly right. This year is more wide open than years past. Over the last couple of years, Millard West and Lincoln East have had obviously great seasons and incredible players, and had a lot of guys that were tough to get out on those sides. So no, they and then that's a tribute to them and their players and their staff that they had. They're all well coached, and so. Like you said, it is wide open this year, and we've a couple transfers in the metro area that flip schools and like you said, it's going to make everybody more even and it's wide open this year.
Yeah, I think when you look at the top teams, everyone's got their strengths and weaknesses. You guys have a tough lineup, a little bit needing some guys to step up on the pitching staff. I think you can look at every team and they have that counterbalance. You don't look at any team and like, well, they got 3 pitchers that are this good, and then they got a lineup full of dudes. Everyone's kind of got a yin and a yang to their team, which I think is going to make for some really good competitive baseball, especially throughout the year, depending on when you play teams and who's on the mound and that type of thing. So I'm excited to see the strategy and how everybody goes about trying to go after that championship this year.
Absolutely. Like you said, every team's different and you find out the first couple weeks of the season and kind of what your identity is and what you build off of. And so, especially for us, the first 2 to 3 weeks of the season is going to be really, really important. And after as we get into mid-April, we're going to get more guys back on our pitching staff that are battling some injuries right now. But like I said, come mid-April, everybody should be well rested, ready to go, and ready to get on the mound and compete every day.
You want to be playing your best baseball by May. So
that's right.
Like I said, Coach, one of the best programs in the state. I believe if you're a recruiter out there listening, they've got players in the weeds, solid, well-coached baseball players. They've gone to really the best junior colleges in the Midwest and have gone on after that. So definitely a place that recruiters need to be checking out more often. Coach, if we can do anything, we're all here for you. Thanks for coming on. We're excited for the spring. Should be a fun one.
Hey, thank you for having me on, and I appreciate everything you do for high school baseball in Nebraska, and not only that I appreciate it, I know all of our players do. So you do a great job, and from GI, just want to tell you thank you very much.
We're coming out there again next summer for the I believe it's May 26th for the American Legion ID. So we're excited for your guys' hospitality. It was a great event last year, and we're looking forward to making another one out there this year.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thank you. Stop this.